So you're about to start your first physics class, or you're really interested in physics, but you have no idea where to start. My name is Wally, and I'm a biophysicist at the University of Chicago and a student engineer at NASA. In this YouTube series, we're going to go through all the physics I've ever learned, starting from the first day in undergrad to my last day as a graduate student. Before we start, a disclaimer. If you're taking physics for the first time, there's no amount of YouTube videos that you can watch that's going to substitute from actually solving the math problems. Is it possible to talk about physics without all those fancy symbols? Yeah, it's called English. But to fully understand and appreciate physics requires working through the math. Both are forever intrinsically intertwined. So suck it up. With that being said, let's jump in. The first lesson in any introductory physics course are the 3 laws of motion. So today we're going to talk about the first, the law of inertia. This is how I learned it. And that's how I got my first D. The first law is basically trying to say is that if something is moving, it's going to want to keep moving, and if something is not moving, then it's going to not want to move unless you start working with it. Here's a super sick, awesome experiment showing how objects in motion are going to stay in motion if you remove as much friction as you possibly can. Sick. Here's something not moving when all the forces are balanced. Awesome. So things are either going to keep moving or they're going to stay at rest unless there's some sort of unbalanced force acting upon it. In football, you see unbalanced forces whenever one player exerts a force on another player, causing him to change direction and or speed. Which brings us to our physics word of the day, inertia. The resistance of an object to that unbalanced force. If something has a lot more inertia, it requires a lot more of a force to get them to move or get them to stop. For example, babies are really weak, and so we all know that they're really easy to tackle. A 300-pound linebacker, maybe not so much. So to recap, something that has more mass requires more force, so that thing has more inertia. Something that has less mass requires less of a force to move or to stop, so that thing has less inertia. And like any good physics course, here's your problem set of the day. Explain how the law of inertia applies to this skateboarder. Exactly. An object will come to rest when there's an unbalanced force acted upon it. If you like this video, lightly tap the like button and softly press the subscribe button. This video is sponsored by nobody, so don't buy anything.